Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we have a funny topic for you here today. We are going to be talking about modern women who are regretting hookup culture. Now, today's video was made by Manosphere, guys, so don't forget to go and subscribe to his channel. I'm going to leave it linked in the pinned comment, and without further ado, let's jump right in. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I've heard a lot of people on this app talk about how much it sucks when you're a hopeless romantic, and we're just so in hookup culture as a generation. But what also sucks is wanting to be single. I do want to be single right now in my life. I have way too much stuff to focus on to put any energy into someone else. But also having needs and hating one night stands. Hating them. I don't know what it is. Makes me feel gross. I don't know. But what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do? I'd like to know.
Welcome back, guys, to a new series called Hookup Culture, and if you are new to my channel and enjoy my content, a sub would be really appreciated. Now, first of all, let me explain this. When a woman says, I want to be single, I want to focus on myself, that is a lie they tell themselves to try to justify being a 304. If the perfect Chad with money and status came into her life, she wouldn't want to be single. No woman would. And if you hate hookup culture so much, then why do you do it? Cause clearly, you say you hate one night stands, but you still do it. And if you want to be single, then why do you have a TikTok account and post videos to try to get attention? It doesn't make sense.
And you know what? I don't even see what the problem is. I find it funny how you have these women who say, I don't want to put any effort into a relationship. I want to be able to focus on myself. But then you give them hookup culture and you say, fine, you can go out there and do whatever it is that you want to do. And they still complain. You can give them relationships, but they'll feel overwhelmed and trapped and they don't want to be with a man. But then you let them go free and do whatever it is that they want, and yet they're still not happy. I'm sorry, this is what you asked for. You asked for the hookup culture. You asked to be able to do whatever it is that you like to do. And now that you have it, you don't even like it.
So this is why I don't do hookups. During intercourse, your brain releases oxytocin, which makes you subconsciously bond with your partner. Having brief attachment with many people can leave you feeling empty and damage your ability to form trust and intimacy with other individuals.
This is very true. I have here a few studies to show you, and I will put the link to all the studies in the description of the video. In this study, it shows the chance of divorce by the number of premarital sexual partners, and in this study, it shows that in 2010, only 5% of women were virgins. And yet, according to a survey done by the Washington Post, 28% of men between the ages of 18 to 30 haven't had sex in a year or are still virgins.
And you know what, guys, with these statistics, what you'll notice, okay, is that the more hookup partners that women have, the less satisfied they are in marriages, because a lot of them still feel entitled to that Chad that they got when they were younger. We call these women alpha widows when they go out here and they date men that are well above their means, who make more money, who are taller, who are more attractive, okay, who are more intelligent. These men, she will always want these men. So what happens when women go out here, they get with a whole bunch of dudes, and then they turn around and decide to get married, is they are never happy in the relationship because they're always looking to their past. They're always looking to that previous guy that they used to have that one time when she was 22 years of age. Let's keep going.
There's nothing more frustrating than being a one-person kind of person in a world that glamorizes hookup culture and always looking for the next best thing.
I love, by the way, guys, this is super funny to me, right? Because hookup culture only becomes a problem for these women when they're looking for a man. So yeah, you'll see 20-year-old women complain about it, but you'll see more often than not, it's 30-plus-year-old women who are single mothers, women who are aging out of the dating market, refused to get a man because they thought that they were too good for the majority of them, and now they turn around and they go, wait a minute, Why are men only using me for fun? Why don't men want relationships? You could have had a relationship the entire time. Guys, and the funniest part about these videos, man, it always gets me, is like there's some sad, somber piano playing in the background, like we're supposed to feel some sort of sympathy for them.
I was born in the wrong decade.
Yes, cry me a river. Before all you simps out there say she's so beautiful and she's different, understand that she has a TikTok account and she posts videos to get attention from guys. Any woman that has a TikTok account shouldn't be taken seriously.
Manosphere is absolutely right here, by the way, guys. Like, when you go to these videos, oftentimes you will see men in the comments saying things like, oh, you know, we should link up, we should see one another, you're so pretty, how are you still single, and stuff like that. And what these men fail to realize is, one, what they're doing is incredibly stupid, but number two, the women are single of their own choice, guys. When a girl is 30 plus years of age and she's single, and especially like this woman here, she's not bad looking or anything like that, right? She is single by her own choice and by her own quote-unquote standards. So I say, guys, let them go, let them be single, let them enjoy their strong, independent, and liberated life.
Anybody else also have that one person that you kind of dated, but not really? You guys weren't even together, you guys just kind of like hooked up and you guys kind of dated, but you can't get over them, and it's been so fucking long, but you still think about them, and you dated other people, but you still think about this fucking person. Like, while you were dating them, you were like, God, I wish I was with this person. And you don't know why. You don't know why you want this person so bad, because it wasn't even like a real thing, but like, obviously you're obsessed, like creepy, like they should put you on a watch list, and like, you don't know why, you just really want to be with this person. Anybody else, or am I just a fucking creep?
Yes, ma'am, I can tell you why. It's called being alpha widowed. It's a term used when an average-looking woman sleeps with a high-value man that is way above her in looks and status. And she can't find a better man than him. That's why you should never date a woman that has a high body count, because you don't know who she slept with and you will be just the beta box that she settles for. And yes, ma'am, you have a screw loose. I feel sorry for her boyfriend or husband.
And by the way, this is when she says, am I the only person who does this? Absolutely not. There are so many women out here who do this, guys. Like, they will go out and they will date. They will come across men who are better than them in every sort of metric imaginable. They will get attached to this guy. Maybe they'll have some fun with him here and there. They will get attached to him and carry that attachment into their subsequent relationships. This is why a lot of relationships are doomed. This is why a lot of modern marriages are doomed. Because, excuse me, these women are still attached to previous men that they used to see. Okay, and this is what comes with that, okay? If you want to go out and you want to have your ability to do whatever it is that you want, it's going to harm your ability to actually be happy in a relationship. This is why back in the day, guys, you know, you would wait until marriage, okay? You would get married first, and then the fun would come after that. But we now live in a Western society, well, the majority of us live in Western societies where it's celebrated and you're a boss babe and you're a queen and, you know, you're just digging for the diamonds in the rough and you know your worth. But these women will never find happy relationships ever. And the reason why is because of themselves and what they chose to do. Let's keep going.
My controversial yet brave take is that hookup culture is not that bad if you hook up with hot people. Because it's like, oh, he doesn't text me back, but that nigga was fine. It only hurts when you hook up with an ugly guy because you're like, I'm supposed to bag you. I was supposed to bag you was the phrase I was trying to say. Came out kind of demonic, but you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am, we all know what you meant. If it's a Chad you hook up with, it's all good. But if it's an ugly guy, then you start regretting it. It's the same thing they do when you try to hit on a woman. If you are a Chad, it's all good, they start flirting. But if you are ugly, they get offended and say you are a creep.
What is this obsession that guys have with having sex with women that don't want it? From the time I was a child, I was told not to be too easy, because guys don't like girls who are too easy. They would rather pursue someone and pressure them into having sex with them. Why don't guys like women who like sex and want sex? They like the shy, quiet one standing in a corner who's uncomfortable. Even if you do want to, you have to play hard to get so that they feel like they're given the chance to chase you. Women are taught not to ever pursue men or make the first move, because it emasculates them. Because of this, women are being taught to be prey, and men are being taught to be predators. This normalizes coercion, which is sexual assault.
This has to be one of the most stupidest things I've ever heard. First of all, we don't like women that are too easy because that means you are a 304. Why would a guy want to date a woman that has been ran through? And to your second point, we don't want women that make the first move not because it emasculates us. It's because that it shows you have masculine traits, and we don't want that. The spin on words that she has and how she twists everything around just to try to justify in her mind why guys don't like her, it's amazing.
It's absolutely beautiful when you sit down and you think about what they say, and it just makes no logical sense whatsoever. Okay, men don't want to get with girls who are, I don't know why this is so difficult for a lot of girls to understand. If you're a woman and you show, or you have been, for example, with a whole bunch of dudes, men don't want to have a relationship with you. Okay, it's really, it amazes me how girls will make these videos and they fail to ever consider what men want. And whenever they consider what men want, they have to warp it into some sort of like evil thing about how we're terrible people. No, we just don't want women who have gone around with a whole bunch of dudes. It's embarrassing. We probably won't have our own kids, you know? Like, there are problems that come with this, okay? If you choose to wife up a girl who has these qualities and you have kids with her, there's a good chance that, hell, your kids probably aren't even yours in the first place. This is why when I cover, like, cheating stories or a lot of relationship stories here on the channel, I always advocate for men to go out and get paternity tests. Because a lot of these women have these traits, and hell, the dudes are raising kids, for example, that aren't even theirs. It's really quite disgusting. Let's continue.
Nobody's talking about how the hookup culture is literally the most toxic place there is.
I am, don't worry.
So this is me when I was deep in this culture, thought that this is what you're supposed to do in college and this is what's fun. I would literally cry every single night because I was so depressed. I was addicted to lust, addicted to literally getting my fulfillment from using guys. But then would go home and literally bawl my eyes out every single time. It is so toxic, but so many people are saying that this is like normal and this is like what this society, culture, whatever, that is what we do. And it is literally so empty. Like I can't. I really can't.
This is what feminism teaches young women, that you can do whatever you want and it has no consequences. That's why I think the manosphere community is so important, because we reveal the truth and the after effects of making bad decisions, where feminism just encourages bad decisions.
Notice how, by the way, she only comes to these realizations now that she's older. It was all well and good to do all of these things when she's younger, but now she's 30 years of age and she's like, wait a minute, now I realize my actions were questionable. Okay, it took her that long, guys. It's always when they rock up to around 30 years of age and now they're looking for something serious that they regret their previous decisions. Like in that photo, guys, she looked like she was having, you know, she's having the time of her life, she's having fun. Okay, and this is again, for example, why when girls get to like 30 plus years of age and they see older men with younger women, they say, oh, it's creepy, it's terrible, it's predatory, whatever. But when they were the young women, they were more than happy to have the attention. They were more than happy to have all the resources, the validation, sometimes even the relationships from these men. But now that they're older, the whole thing is backwards. They're like, no, it was terrible. I was being, you know, and it's funny because she actually frames it like she was using the men in the situations. I don't know if you guys caught that. She said, you know, that she would go out here and she would use men. I find that a very interesting way to frame it, considering a lot of the guys that you would get with you probably wouldn't care about you at all. You know, it's like, it's funny how girls will engage in hookup culture and then they'll be like, man, look at all these men I got. But no, the men got you. Let's continue.
I'm good, bro. It don't even hurt that bad.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm so weird. I had this fantasy in my head that dating apps, you know, were for people looking for like a relationship or something. The amount of times I've been like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they're just like, well, then why were you on this dating app? Stupid me. I wanted a boyfriend. Isn't that so dumb and so stupid?
Yes, ma'am, it's dumb and stupid. In 2022, you shouldn't use dating apps if you want to find love.
So recently my therapist told me that I should try to not sleep with someone on the first date. And like she meant it in the least slut-shamey kind of way, just more so the fact that I personally have the tendency to do things backwards when it comes to dating. I'm really out here giving TikTok all the dirty details of my sex and love life.
Yes, maybe the therapist should address the fact that you make TikToks telling the whole world your sex life. Maybe this is a bigger problem than you think.
But all my past relationships, I've been physically intimate with them before being emotionally intimate, if that makes sense. And so when she told me I should try that, obviously I agreed too, that it was a great idea because it's something that I haven't really ever done before. And guess what I did on Friday? The exact opposite. I mean, in my defense, they do say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And like in my defense, we did have a really good conversation before stuff happened. Like we talked for a few hours about life, got pretty deep.
Yes, I bet it got deep.
And I'm just coming up with excuses. And like I do this to myself where I only like hook up with people that I like as a person, which usually means that I see some sort of potential relationship there. But then that means like after we're intimate, I just form a stronger connection to them and inevitably get disappointed when that's all they wanted. But like with this guy on Friday, like I fully went into it telling myself, no, this is just gonna be something casual, like, nah. And then he ended up being way cooler than I expected. And so obviously now I kind of have an attachment.
You know, whenever I see these videos, it's always interesting, like how a lot of the women just take no accountability, right? They want to be able to say one thing led to another and, oh, I don't really know what happened. And before I knew it, we were back at his house and things just kind of developed from there. Okay, it's never like, yes, I did it. Okay, it was my decision. I went out here and did this. This woman's framing it as though, oh, she just went there and she had the intentions to follow what the therapist said and she wasn't going to engage in the behavior. And then look what happened. This is why you have to watch what these individuals do, not what they say, because a lot of these women will always frame it, particularly the younger ones, right? They'll always kind of frame it as though they just somehow ended up in that particular situation, right? Like somehow she ended up at his house, somehow she ended up with this guy again, and she'll try and justify it like, yeah, we built a connection, we talked for a few hours. You do not know this man from a rock at the beach, my friend. You do, you know, you don't know anything about this guy. She probably doesn't know his favorite color, okay? This idea like, oh, I've talked to him for a few hours and we bonded. You guys didn't bond at all. You don't even know the man that you were with. You just want to remove accountability from yourself. But you know, shout out to her. She does say there for a second, she's like, I'm just making excuses. But that's what a lot of these girls do when they choose to go out here and get with random dudes.
And like I've done casual hookups in the past, so I know that it's something that I can do, but I feel like there's a disconnect on what my expectations are for a casual hookup versus what a lot of other guys' expectations are with casual hookups.
Yeah, you know, you catch feelings for them. It guys really wind back and we're gonna play that again. Listen to how delusional this crap is.
Expectations are for a casual. I feel like there's a disconnect on what my expectations are for a casual hookup versus what a lot of other guys' expectations are with casual hookups. Like if it's gonna be a casual thing, I am not opening up to you. You are not knowing about my personal life at all. Like,
coming from the person who's sharing her personal life all over TikTok and who says that she often gets attached to men after the fact. You notice how when you sit down, guys, and you listen with logic for 2 seconds, none of this crap makes any sense?
Friends with benefits is a lie. It's just stranger with benefits who you trust. Like going back to this guy from Friday, I had like a pretty strong emotional connection to him based off of the few-hour conversation that we had. And part of me is like, well, did he feel the same way too? Or is he just the type of guy to open up to everyone and then just have sex with them and move on with his life? Like in real life, he seems like a great guy and I want to get to know him more because I had a lot of fun. And
I'm sorry, I thought you were the one who was, you know, you were sitting here saying that men have the, you know, the wrong idea about casual relationships, and you said that you were the one who is more interested in the casual element. But now you're highlighting that you want to get to know him more and you built an emotional connection. You see how this makes no sense, guys? You see how what it is she gets attached to the dudes and the dudes don't want her?
And like I felt the butterflies and everything, but then over text, I get the complete opposite where either he's a really bad texter or he just wants to hook up. I guess time will tell with this one, but I'm definitely gonna have to clarify the next time we hang out, if we hang out, what his expectations are going forward, because if it's just hooking up, I don't think I can do that because I'm already emotionally attached to him.
Don't worry, ma'am. Keep hooking up, keep getting emotionally attached while you still can, cause at some point you won't be able to get attached anymore. And stop going to therapy, cause I can see you are just wasting your money and it's not helping you at all. As you said, you can teach an old dog new tricks. And stop going to
Guys,
therapy.
I want to say something as well at the end of this video, because that's the end of today's video right there. I just find these situations like she's not going to change her behavior, and the reason why she says, oh, I feel a bit different when I receive texts from him after the fact, the guy doesn't want anything serious with you. He's playing hot and cold, okay? He'll be nice, he'll be warm, he'll open up to you in real life, but he will be incredibly dry with you over text. Okay, and this is what makes women emotionally engaged, because they sit there, they make TikTok videos like this, they cry to themselves, and they say, oh, I don't know if he really likes me, I don't know if he's really interested in me, and the answer is probably not. Guys, we are going to be calling today's video there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to Manosphere for putting together today's video. Shout out to him. It is very headache-inducing to do that, so I'm going to leave his channel pinned in the top comment. And as always, guys, make sure that you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.